We move across to BBC iPlayer for our next offering. It's a new comedy called St. Denis Medical. And here's a clip.
Welcome to St. Denis Medical Center. St. Denis Regional Medical. I have access to some really good stuff, and I will hook you up.
Yeah.
No, man. That was a test.
Boom!
We're like the Avengers, you know?
We're not supposed to have favorite patients, but we do.
I almost don't want them to get better.
Yes, so new comedy called St. Denis Medical on BBC Two. And it's a mockumentary. I think this is quite Marmite, I'm not going to lie. I am a fan of Marmite, but I didn't like this. I didn't like it at all, and I really, really stuck with it. I've tried really hard to like it, and I feel like, Ian, you are going to like it, which is probably quite good. And this is why we do the pod, because I'm the yin to your yang. And essentially, this is... It's a fictional town of Merrick in Oregon, so it's American. It's an 18-part series, so honestly, it does go on and on a bit. If you don't like it, I mean, honestly, quit while you're ahead is what I would say, because it doesn't get any better if you don't like it. I don't think it's a grower. And it follows the overworked staff of this very underfunded hospital. So it will resonate with lots of people because, of course, you know, this is a big topic of conversation, isn't it? It's often filling column inches. And we see these sort of poor staff really dealing with the general public, the revolving door of patients and their problems, and everyone thinking that their problem is the biggest problem. And it's done with this kind of comedic side to it, which of course I think perhaps that's why it didn't really resonate in quite the way it should do with me, because I think it's not very funny, is it, actually, when you're waiting in a hospital casualty for A&E for 7 hours and no one's seeing you and you're in pain or whatever. So there's a little bit probably close to the mark in terms of actually how we're all feeling right now. Perhaps that's the reason I didn't like it. But also, it's the sort of this humour alongside it is they want to make this hospital a centre of excellence, and you get these kind of pieces to camera where someone will come in and give you a little bit of a talk about who they are, why they're there, why their parents didn't want them to do it or they did want them to do it, and you kind of get a little bit invested in each character. You've obviously got the ones who are a bit lazy, the ones who don't really want to do anything, the other ones who are absolutely passionate, and then the kind of the sort of characters, I suppose really the real characters that make up a general workplace, not just a hospital, and these kind of sets of skills that's required in navigating difficult patients who, like I say, feel like need to be seen first. So there are some storylines and narratives that run through it. There's a sort of funny-ish part about a sort of drug addict and coming in and kind of getting cleaned up, and then them helping, and then they kind of make it very, again, sort of funny. But it's not very real. I mean, it's a mockumentary and it doesn't feel very well. I suppose in my head when I was watching it, it translated in the same way The Office did from the UK to the US. That's sort of how in my head it kind of worked, and I didn't feel it worked brilliantly well. But yeah, I've been pretty negative about it, Ian. I feel like you're going to like it a lot more than I did.
Well, I didn't dislike it, but I didn't particularly rave about it either. So you've got the range of different bods working in the hospital. You've got Wendy McClendon-Covey plays Joyce, who is the executive director. You also have a senior nurse, Alex, played by Alison Tolman. You've got an emergency doctor, Ron, played by David Alan Greer. You've got a trauma surgeon, played by Joss Lawson, and a new nurse, played by Meki Leaper. The Office spawned a hell of a lot of mockumentaries, of course, and set the bar so high because it was so funny and in some ways quite cruel. This is more kind of inoffensive, I guess, really, and it's not as sort of out there as something like Scrubs or Green Wing. It's perfectly enjoyable, but just I don't think it's that memorable. It's created by couple of guys from behind Superstore and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It has been commissioned for a second season, but yeah, I was a little bit underwhelmed by it, even though I think the performances are perfectly good, the script's amiable enough, but it didn't really set the world on fire.